Sam Show said, you said last time you shaved it off because Kayla said you should. No, opposite. Kayla wanted me to grow it. Then she wanted me to get piercings. She didn't want me to. She didn't say she wanted me to get piercings. She said, how do you feel about piercings? I said, no. No.
She wanted you to get piercings.
Yeah.
She wanted to turn you into her little emo boy. Oh, that's adorable.
No, she wanted to turn me into Nick.
Does Nick have piercings?
He pierced his ears, I think, for her once when they were first going out. Like it was very transparent, like the growing out the thing right here, and then will you get piercings? It's like those two didn't love each other anymore. Like they were, and so she wanted to go back to like the beginning when he pretended to be gay to hang around with her, and like. Yeah, it was weird. Like you look back on it, it's really weird. It's kind of it's weird, but it's sad. You know what I mean?
It's the money plane.
It's the money plane. Yeah, on the money plane. I'm playing Kayla's game. My shitty beard was so insane. Fox 9 is now covering Josh Moon from Kiwi Farms in his quest for cameras in the courtroom for Nick Rekietas' case. Now, I believe the omnibus hearing is on August 21st. I'm making a call right now for that omnibus hearing.
Who are you calling?
My call is this. If it's possible, if they ask for a plea at this omnibus hearing, I think we're getting guilty pleas.
Out of who?
Both parties. I think Nick and Kayla are going to plead guilty, and then the following week, April will plead guilty on the 28th, or whatever her number is. I think we're getting it.
Do you really want guilty pleas?
I didn't say I want. I think that's what we're getting. Because it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense because a guilty plea will keep you out of prison. They're not going to put anybody in prison for pleading guilty to the shit they're charged with. Yeah, it's second-degree felony charges, sure. But you're not going to, go to Minnesota is not going to send you to prison for pleading guilty to this. If you go to trial, you will get, in my opinion, at least 2 years. I know the max is 25, but for a first-time offender, 2 out in 1 or out in 18 months or whatever. But if you plead guilty now, you'll get all the rehab. I mean, yeah, the government will be crawling up your ass. You'll get probation forever and ever. You'll get a suspended sentence. But you just got to stay off the blow and pass all. They'll probably make you take hair tests and all that shit. But I fucking take it, right? I mean, if this doesn't scare you straight, what does?
Otherwise, you'll be in the county lockup with a man named Bubba behind you going up, down, up, down.
Going up, down. So I think that there will be a guilty plea because, number one, you're already going to have CPS up your ass for a while now. You're not just getting your kids and all right, sounds good to me. I'm guaranteeing there's some kind of either their parental supervision or some kind of CPS involvement with the kids being at the house. And then you're going to have CPS testing them still. You're going to have CPS checking in. They're going to want to observe and stuff like that. Like, they're going to be up your ass for a while. CPS cases take a long time. They're going up, down, up, down.
Being there like a baldo.
So I think with I think with the criminal case, like, get it out of the way, dude. Just be done with it. Plead guilty on the 21st. If you can't plead guilty on the 21st, then whatever. Who gives a shit? But can I take you off the screen while you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's really distracting watching a guy do hardware work while you're doing something.
Yeah, my mic's falling off, and I don't want it to do it.
That's fine. So please avoid the prison time. I mean, you're good. You'll get a suspended sentence. You'll have to stop doing cocaine. Who cares? It's not exactly like it's been a positive in your life. Your pride cannot be that foolish that you're like, I'm not going to plead guilty. I mean, are you that terminally on the internet that a guilty plea to the drugs thing, you won't swallow that because the internet might see it as a win? That you were doing coke? And I know he's intimated and I know he's alluded to possibly, you don't know what the police could bring into your house, meaning you're insinuating that the police brought the cocaine into the house, or you're putting that idea out there for stupid people to choke on. What I've never liked is the whole insinuation and then the cowardly chicken shit. I never said that. Have some balls, stand up, be a man, and own what you did. Just go, either admit that it's yours or go, yeah, I am alluding to the fact that maybe somebody put it there. Don't say something and then not say it. That just makes you look like a bitch. That's embarrassing. That's what's humiliating. Like, this guy has such a moral compass that he can't understand what's embarrassing, what's humiliating, and what's not. What's embarrassing and humiliating is reading people's DMs and fighting with kiwi farms and, while your life hangs in the balance. Those guys, who gives a shit about them? Go in there and save your ass. Keep yourself out of prison. You did coke. You did ketamine. You've told me all your story. I've never seen you do ketamine, but you've told me the stories about the ketamine. I've watched you rip rails of coke in front of me. Fix her, Aaron. Fix her. I've watched all the drama. I've heard all the fights. All right? They found it in your house. You literally were on camera with the powder on your nose. It's over. You're going to have to plead guilty and admit that the cocaine was yours and that you've been doing cocaine. You're going to have to go to rehab. But you know what you won't have to do? Go to prison. You won't have to go to prison. So what? You got to admit to a bunch of retards on the internet that you did cocaine. Oh, well.
I already know, so what is
I had you muted until you were done. The more you try to get the warrant thrown out, the more you try to get this thrown out. That warrant is, even his own allies, even his own Baldo washers, as they're calling them, or sweepers, were saying the warrant is unattackable. And what judge is going to go to another judge in this small community and go, oh, yeah, that judge was full of shit for signing this? They're going to hold that up. So then what? You've wasted more of their time. One thing is true about government. They are vindictive.
What? Why?
The
Why
more you waste their time, the less kind they're going to be to you, because, as I've been told by someone in that area, the case is rock solid. The case against him it's a slam dunk. It's over, Johnny. You like taking your W's against the internet. You like cocking off to kiwi farms, and I know it hasn't served you well lately. You've been looking like a dipshit. You know what a W is? Get your kids back. You don't go to prison. So what? You got to go to rehab. You probably should. For both coke and booze, you should be in rehab. It probably won't help you. Narcissists usually don't get better on shit like that, but maybe if some of it gets through, it'll help you a little bit.
Does he get disbarred?
No, because if lawyers got disbarred every time they got caught with coke, there would be no lawyers. There'd be a lot less of them. Trial lawyers, at least. But this whole I'll fight it. You'll lose. It's like I said, it's over, Johnny. Citizen M says Gordy does miss April. She was a lot of bad things, but a decent dog mom. Yeah, April and I did a good job with old Gordo, for sure. In fact, when we were getting divorced, I even told her, I'm taking him for walks. I'm handling that whole thing. She goes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was really worried about that. I'm glad he's being taken care of. And then later that night, she started texting me again, and then I was a piece of shit and a really bad guy. Just seemed to be the theme.
Just
every
pick a lane.
Every time we'd start texting and it would go well, eventually I would be a piece of shit. And I would keep reading back my messages going, where did I do that? Where did I don't understand where I became the piece of shit in this one. Like Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk were fighting, and April and I always wanted to watch that one together. And obviously we were divorced, so we weren't going to. But I was texting her. She would text me back, and we were talking about the fight and everything else, and it was really, really nice. And that was the last time I think that I would text her, because I was just like, this is ridiculous. It just turned again. And I'm just like, in fact, I think my last text to her was like, only communicate with me through, and I gave her, I told, my lawyer's name. And I said, I can't handle this gaslighting shit anymore. And she's like, fine, I'll block you. I'm like, that's kind of what I'm trying to, yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But no, she was a good dog mom, that's for sure. But I kind of give her a break on that. She was going through some shit. Still is, as it were. All right, let's.
What makes you think that?
I don't know.